This is probably no surprise to some of our viewers, but air travel in our area has grown sharply over the past 30 years. Take Dulles Airport, for example. In 1990, it handled a little over 5 million passengers a year. Today, it handles 22 million passengers a year, and that number keeps growing. In 1990, Reagan National, which dates back to before World War II, handled 15 million passengers a year. Last year, it handled 24 million. Even our own Stafford Regional Airport, which in 2005 only handled a few thousand aircraft operations a year, now handles nearly 30,000. Aviation is growing, and the area's airports have made substantial efforts to keep up. In Stafford, the runway is being extended to 6,000 feet to increase capacity. At Reagan National, significant upgrades are being made to the terminal facilities. Dulles continues a long-term, multi-billion-dollar expansion program and will shortly be connected to the Metro subway system. But growth in aviation operations is also a nationwide phenomenon. The number of enplanements each year, that's the number of times people get on and off an aircraft going from one place to another, was about 700 million in 2010. It reached 1 billion in 2018. This is staggering, and it puts the serious demands on the nation's air traffic system. To deal with this, and this has been a long-term program, the Federal Aviation Administration has been designing and building and implementing what's called the Next Generation Air Transportation System, or as they call it, NextGen. This is an entirely new approach to managing air traffic operation that allows more aircraft to flow safely and efficiently through the national airspace system. It involves new technology in the aircraft, new technology on the ground, and implements new procedures to improve operational efficiency. As I said, NextGen is a multi-billion-dollar program that has been underway for more than a decade, and its impacts are being felt from the nation's largest aviation centers, like Chicago and Atlanta, right down to our operations at our local airports.
George Kerns here for CVTV Sports. I have some hockey news, but I'll get to that in just a second. The World Series is heating up as the Washington Nationals have forced a Game 7 for Wednesday night in Houston. Winner take all. The Nationals struggled for 3 games at home, losing all 3 and only scoring 3 runs total in those games. But for Game 6, they came back to life with excellent pitching from Steven Strasburg, who went 8 1/3 innings. Juan Soto, Anthony Rendon, and the rest of the Nats came to life as they went on to win Game 6, 7-2. It's winner take all, Wednesday, October 30th at 8 o'clock on Fox. Good luck to the Nationals. In NFL news, the Washington Redskins lost to Minnesota, and now their record is 1-7. Washington is at Buffalo this week on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Check your local times and listings for the game in your area. Baltimore, who is 5-2, will host the New England Patriots, who are 8-0, Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC. In college football, LSU takes over the #1 spot. Alabama is 2, Ohio State is 3, Clemson is 4, and Penn State is 5. Oklahoma lost to Kansas State over the weekend and dropped back to 10th. Next week is the showdown between LSU and Alabama. Ohio State will play Penn State soon. In NASCAR news, Martin Truex Jr. won this past weekend's race and starting to create chaos in the playoffs. Kyle Busch is blowing his chances. Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano are fighting again. Chase Elliott has a fast car, but no good luck. Kevin Harvick has barely made a whisper in the playoffs. Ryan Blaney continues to rise, and Kyle Larson escaped Martinsville as best as he could, with Martinsville being his worst track. The race will continue through next month. In NBA news, the Golden State Warriors finally got their first win after losing the first 2. There's drama in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving's mood swings. In Houston, after Westbrook played his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, he said he has no friends. The LA Lakers are starting to gel with James and Davis working as a team. In NHL news, the Washington Caps are 8-2 with 19 points, leading the Metro Division. And there's a new skating rink over in Dixon Park in Fredericksburg. Well, that's all the time I have for sports. I'm George Kerns for CVTV Sports. Back to you guys.
David, this next story is near and dear to my heart. In our area, we have a lot of high school football fans. The reason I attend football games is for the halftime show. Sorry, George. I may be chit-chatting with my friends throughout game time, but when the band shows up, don't talk to me. If you're one of my band species, you'll be happy to know that the 9th annual Band Together to Fight Hunger will be held on Monday, November 4th from 7 to 9 p.m. at Stafford County's Mountain View High School. If you've never attended, it's like a 2-hour halftime show featuring 5 area bands. The admission price is free, but a donation of non-perishable foods is requested. The bands collaborate every year to help stock our local area food banks. Last year, Band Together to Fight Hunger raised $20,166.60, the equivalent of 45,714 meals. Halftime and game time fans agree that it's a worthy cause to help our neighbors with food insecurity.
I think that's wonderful.
Well, David,
I think that's all the news we have this weekend. Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
We are CVTV News, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.